Hey, welcome to Estevan TV. I'm at pushgapradio.com.
Pushgapradio.com. Bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. Pushgapradio.com. It's Dallas, baby.
Pushgapradio.com. Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Hey, from Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth. Pushgap Radio.
Ooh, girl, you can't hear how Dallas, Fort Worth work. This is Jackie.
What up, y'all? This is Jackie
Of Shaka Ford 1 and the main event show.
Your call is forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
This little something like that.
Shaka Ford 1 and the main event with me, the Queen B, Jackie Up. Heard exclusively on Push Gap Radio. Giving you true scoops.
PushGapRadios.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Welcome to another edition of Shaka 4-1 in the main event on PushGapRadios.com. Here's to Joe Louis this week, Dallas, Fort Worth. Boston Celtics great Bill Russell passes away. We'll delve into that. Your ass didn't hit the Mega Millions. That's why you here hanging with me. We're going to break that down a little bit for you. And the Veterans PACT Act was blocked by these stupid-ass people in the Senate by the Republicans. We're going to break that down for you as well. My old man said the only way to start at the top is to dig a hole. Banging this thing on your urban internet radio dial. Pray until something happens. God always provides. At pushgapradios.com, the power is in the name. Pushgapradios.com. Dallas, baby.
It was the old player, right? He hit the lottery for $34 million. He called home to his girl. He said, baby, pack your bag. Big Daddy done hit the lottery for $34 million. She said, ooh, Big Daddy. Shall I pack my fur coat for the winter vacation? Or shall I pack my bikini for the summer vacation? He said, bitch, I don't give a damn what you pack. Just be gone before I get there.
PushGapRadio.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Thank you for logging on to another edition of Shaka Ford 1 in the main event on PushGapRadios.com. Before I get started, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Don't forget, on Push Gap TV 1, we have our Ghetto Prophets series. Those are some people that we get off of TikTok who've made some very profound statements, and we just lace them in so that you can be informed on what's going on as well. Boston Celtics great Bill Russell, 11-time NBA champion, passed away at the age of 88 years old. Bill Russell, the cornerstone of the Boston Celtics dynasty that won 8 straight titles and 11 overall during his career, died on Sunday. The Hall of Famer was 88 years old. Russell died peacefully with his wife Jenny at his side. A statement posted on social media read, arrangement for his memorial services will be announced soon, according to a statement that has been released. The statement did not give the cause of death, but Russell, who had been living in the Seattle area, was not well enough to present the NBA Finals MVP trophy in June because of a long illness. Bill Russell was greatness, as you know. Couldn't stop him, mind. You know, they can never stop the brothers. You know, you can only imagine how off the chain them cats were back in the day. Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and, you know, guys of that ilk who were just amazing back in the day, you know. So just want to tip our hat, to the greatness that was Bill Russell. For all the winning, Russell understanding of the struggle is what illuminated his life. From boycotting a 1961 exhibition game to unmask too long tolerated discrimination to leading Mississippi's first integrated basketball camp in the wake of the Medgar Evers assassination, to decades of activism, ultimately recognized by his receipt of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. You know, back then, those guys stood up. Closest thing you would have to that would be Colin Kaepernick today. LeBron James says something from time to time. You have a few guys, but not like it was back then. Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those guys really stood out. Now they just want you to shut up and dribble. It was that white girl, Lori, what's her name? Her stupid ass. But yeah, the greatness, there was Bill Russell. Russell called out injustice with an unforgiving candor that he intended would disrupt the status quo. And was a powerful example of that, though never his humble intention, will forever inspire teamwork, selflessness, and thoughtful change. 11-time NBA champion Bill Russell dies at the age of 88 on July 30th, 2022. I take it your ass didn't win the Mega Millions because you sitting here watching moi. I bought 15 tickets. You know what they say. It's like lotto. You got to be in it to win it. So Jackie and I got some tickets, but didn't win. Because I can tell you for damn sure I wouldn't be here chatting with your ass if I would have hit. The Mega Millions jackpot goes elsewhere, but two locals win the $1 million prize. One lucky winner is more than $1 billion richer after all 6 of their numbers match the balls drawn in Friday night's Mega Million lottery. I just needed 5 in the Powerball. I would have took the $1 million. Could you live on $1 million, or do you think you would still have to work? $1 million, I would probably still have to work because I'm paying cash for my house. With the price of real estate today, I'm looking at about $400,000. You know, your favorite uncle's going to get his. You still have to furnish the place, perhaps buy a nice car. But the car thing I would overlook, and I would put my money into some form of investments that paid me dividends every month. That's what I would have done. A ticket bought at a gas station outside of WBMX, Oak Park, Chicago. WBMX was a radio station we banged back in the 70s, for those of you who don't know, and was the lone winner of the prize valued at $1.377 billion. Despite the big prize being won elsewhere, several locals took home big prizes in the drawing. 2 tickets bought in North Carolina matched all 5 numbers to win $1 million. That's all you needed. Didn't perhaps have the Powerball, but 5 numbers matched. One winner picked their ticket at an Adams Mart in South Charlotte. The other was at some shop and save in Mooresville. 14 other people across the state matched 4 numbers in the Mega Ball, and including 2 who added the $1 Megaplier. I never add the Megaplier. I don't know if I'm too cheap or what that is. But, you know, they asked me, you want the Megaplier? No, just give me the numbers. And that doubled the $10,000 prize they got. One winning $20,000 ticket was bought in Statesville, and the second was purchased in Beaufort County in North Carolina. A ticket from a Circle K was in Mineral Springs. It won $10,000 they took home. Friday's jackpot was the second largest in the history of the Mega Millions and the third largest in U.S. history, according to officials. Wow. Created a lot of fun, they said. Did you get in on the Mega Million? Did you put in a couple of bucks to see? You see, when you play the lottery, we're going to get into the veterans, is what this particular program is about. You know, they blocked the PACT Act for the veterans. I'm a veteran myself. 4th of the 69th Armored Battalion, Mainz, Gunsenheim, Germany. Hoorah! But yeah, see, when you play the lottery gives you the opportunity to dream a little bit. You'd work, you know, I know I ain't gonna win. But what if you did? Up until the drawing, you have the opportunity to dream just as big as anyone else. What do you dream about? Who would you help? Would you give no one absolutely nothing? Or would you help some folks out? I thought about, I don't know if you're aware, there are some folk who bought some land down in Georgia to start a black community. Had I hit, I believe I would have went down there to assist them. You know, leave some sort of legacy. What would you do? What would you dream about if you won? Some people say they'd have been out on the beach, give some money to their family. A lot of people like myself would disappear. See, if I hit, I'm bailing out. I'd have been like that one guy who wore the mask when he went to collect his loot. Yeah, I'd have been that guy. You may know my name, but you don't see my face. Does that really make a difference, though? If they know your name, do they need to see your face? Not necessarily, I don't think. You can do a lot of good with that type of money. Now, the winner from Illinois can claim their prize in regular installments or take a lump sum of $780 million. What would you do? Some say the annuity is the smart way to go, but I think that's predicated on your age. You're in your 20s and 30s, taking a 29, 30-year payout would be great. What if you're in your 60s? Okay, at $1 billion, that breaks you down to like 500 million. You live in a place with state taxes. They're getting you twice. Uncle Sam and your state. Great state of Texas has no state taxes. They get their tax money from property taxes. So there's that. Would you take the lump sum, though? Invest your money. Odds of winning were 1 in 302 million. But if you bought a lot of tickets, your chances hardly improved. Barely. I bought 15. I normally only buy 3 numbers. Price of a cheeseburger, I guess. You have 180 days to claim your prize. What would you do? Had you hit that amount of money, man? Family members would come out of the woodwork, man. I don't know if I have time for that. Now all of a sudden, everybody, folk you ain't seen in forever and a day, would be coming out of the woodwork. There's a growing outrage after 41 Republican senators filibustered the PACT Act, blocking benefits for 3.5 million veterans exposed to wartime toxins. Republican senators voted to stall the bill, which only required 60 votes. Senate Republicans prioritize partisan politics over supporting American veterans. My, always whoop the one about how you disrespecting the military, like when Colin Kaepernick took a knee and, you know. And now here was your opportunity to do the right something. You bastards didn't care. The senators not only opposed the bipartisan PACT Act, PACT is an acronym for Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxins Act, but they filibustered it to protest an unrelated comprehensive budget reconciliation measure that the Democrats recently proposed. They just screwing over the veterans and then wonder why their enlistment numbers are down. I covered that a show or two ago. The military's enlistment numbers are down. No one's joining that. They see how you treat the veterans. Veterans are homeless. Now, the medical care that they were getting, what they could have been getting now has been cut because of Democrat, Republican. What the hell about the American people? Would you send your kid to the military? Would you advise them to go into the military? They're just screwing them over. That's why your enlistment numbers are low. Who wants to send their kid to the military, then bear the cost of taking care of them when they return home injured, both physically and mentally? All war injuries are not physical. You didn't lose a limb. PTSD, fam. Bombs exploding everywhere. Seeing your friend killed next to you. You recall in the movie A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise. What Gene Hackman tell you? Not Gene Hackman. But old boy told you, you need me. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall so that you can sleep under the very security that I provide. 4th of the 69th Armor Battalion, Mike's Gonsenheim, Germany. Took my boot in Fort Knox. Then when I came back, I went to Fort Riley, Kansas. When I was stationed in Germany, we were on our way to get the hostages from Iran. Ronald Reagan had just went into office. So whether you saw action or not, you were prepared to go. You can sit home and say what you want. Your ass didn't go. What Donald Trump do? Donald Trump had fallen arches or some such. But I believe Trump would have given the money. You have physical and mental ailments when you come home from these places. Now, the PACT bill would have cost an estimated $180 billion over 4 years, expanding health care and disability coverage benefits for over 24 illnesses linked to situations that cause vets to have respiratory problems and rare cancers. Vietnam, those guys were exposed to Agent Orange. Over in Iraq and Iran and whatnot, these people were just burning stuff. Not like here in the States where you put your refuse out on the curb and some truck comes and picks it off and hauls it off to a trash dump. Here, these people just threw it all in a hole and put jet fuel on it, lit it on fire. In that smoke, there are toxins that are getting in your lungs and whatnot, man. But these people didn't go. They didn't man the post. They don't give a damn. It's all politics. Respiratory problems and rare cancers. But you got to budget for peace just like you budget for war. I remember some years ago, the VA took away our dental benefits. It's about 10 years ago, I believe. I asked one of the nurses, I said, what's up with that? She said, well, you know, we got all these guys coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. So we have to make sure we have enough funds and resources available to take care of them. So we have to cut you guys a little bit. Not a problem. Not a problem. These guys, some of them who like went to Desert Storm, have this thing that makes their bones brittle. But in Washington, they want to tell you, well, you going over there to Iraq and Afghanistan and whatnot, that wasn't your problem. It didn't come from that. Nigga, how do you know? You weren't there. Your cowardly bitch ass didn't go over there, pick up a weapon and man the post, up 2, 3, 4 in the rain at 3 a.m. I told my mom that when I got my divorce from my first wife. She said, why don't you just let her have the house? Because I up 2, 3, 4 in the rain, Mom, at 3 a.m. for this house. She's not a veteran, so she doesn't get it anyway. But no, I'm not giving you my house that I was up for. Salute to those of you who served. You know what being in the field was about. I was in an armor battalion, a tanker. Tanks ain't no joke. You ever throw a track on a tank with mud halfway up the tank at 2 a.m? You got to get out there and fix it. You can't call AAA. It's not how that works. You got to budget for peace just like you budget for war. Now, back in June, the bill, which was H.R. 3967, won bipartisan support. Means they all voted for it in the House. 84 yay, 14 nays. But on last Wednesday, 25 Senate Republicans changed their freaking vote to no. Their concerns with how the money was being budgeted. Check this out.
Toxic exposure. Dan Cummins met with a retired Air Force veteran who's dealing with that very issue. Dan?
Melissa, just a month ago, Sherrod Brown came to Toledo and, surrounded by veterans, was so proud Congress was close to approving the PACT Act. But Senate Republicans backed away yesterday. It's become a political football now, and Dan Meyer feels betrayed, calls it un-American.
We send people to war, and we expect to be taken care of when we come home. You know, like if you tell us to go do something, we go do it with no questions asked.
Dan Meyer is 38, a medically retired staff sergeant from the Air Force, lives in West Toledo. Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom. He was exposed to burn pits in 2007, 8, and 9 in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Imagine a city, you know, with 20,000 people and everything that goes into that. So like you've got people that run auto mechanic shops, and you have people that run medical facilities, and all their waste, instead of properly disposing it like they do in the United States, they just bulldoze it into a pile, pour jet fuel on it, and burn it all off. Everything. I mean, vehicles, ammunition cans, paint cans. It was like being in a sandstorm of just smoke, and it made us cough all day long.
Meyer started having health problems in 2010. The lungs were shot and had other side effects. His wife, Danielle, is now a full-time caretaker. They met in high school. After 9/11, he joined the Air Force to serve his country. Charles Heiser, executive director from Lucas County Veterans Service Commission, served in the Army and Air Force.
Being a veteran is giving up those years of your life realistically. And then when something happens, you come across issues you're unaware of, be it the Agent Orange or burn pits. I mean, those are things you have to deal with while you're in. And when you come back, it's more of an issue that upsets you. When the VA denies it, or when politics say it didn't happen, and you get stuck in that loop, and you're stuck with medical bills that you didn't plan on, you're stuck with not getting coverage for stuff that happened to you while you were serving in the military, doing what you were told to do. It upsets a lot of veterans.
I was one of the lucky ones who got sick while on active duty, and it's a shame that I have to say I'm lucky that I'm in a wheelchair and on oxygen when so many of my friends who've gotten sick since they got out can't get the benefits that they deserve.
Yeah. Senate passed a bill to help sick veterans. Then 25 Republicans reversed course, mine. They basically voted against the men and women who fight for this country, who then want to come back to civilian life and have a normal life. Not just them, but their families. And now these cowards go on recess, and these heroes are out here dying. Jon Stewart went ballistic on them. The comedian. Supposed to be another vote on Monday about, well, that's today, August 1st, about trying to get these guys some help, man. The Senate finally was poised to pass a bill that would provide health care and benefits for millions of veterans injured by exposure to toxins from Agent Orange from Vietnam to the burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan. And again, 25 Republican senators blocked the measure on last Wednesday, even though they voted for it just a month earlier. This bill would no longer force generations of veterans to prove that their illness was caused by toxic exposure suffered in the military in order to get VA coverage. It had been hailed as the largest expansion in the care in VA history and was expected to cost $280 billion over a 10-year period. First 4 years, it would have cost $180 billion. And you say no. Your cowardly ass. You say no. Did you serve? No? That's like telling a woman who got raped to get over it. You know, like you tell us about our reparations. These people went and manned the post, got sick, and now You want to do everything you can to prove to them it didn't happen because of where you sent them overseas, a foreign land. A lot of activists have spent dozens of years campaigning for this expansion. Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, for whom the bill is named, he served near a burn pit during his deployment to Kosovo and Iraq with the Ohio National Guard and died of a rare cancer in 2020. Do you think Sergeant First Class Robinson would have gotten this rare cancer had he kept his ass in Ohio? Didn't man the weapon to go fight for his country? It's freaking sad. You don't have the $180 billion. You don't have the $280 billion to give to them. But we know when it comes to Ukraine, the U.S. got a bottomless wallet that never seems to have an ending. It just flows and flows to Ukraine, who ain't paid a damn dime in taxes. No one from Ukraine has picked up a weapon to defend this country. What in the hell has Ukraine done for us? Food prices, rent, gas, homelessness exploding, and now to hell with the damn veterans. How much foreign aid does the U.S. give to Ukraine? They've promised $679 million in foreign assistance to Ukraine in the fiscal year 2020, the most in a single year since '94. They announced on Friday, July 8th, that they were sending an additional $270 million in security assistance to Ukraine, and announced on July 22nd they'd be sending $400 million more in military aid to Ukraine. All of this as Americans suffer right here at home. Prices high as giraffe booty. But we want to send money to some niggas that ain't done nothing for us. What has Ukraine done for us? Pray for Ukraine. The hell with Ukraine. Last year, they brought in the Afghans. This year, they bringing in the Ukrainians. These people are getting money, medical assistance, housing, grants. You know, everything your American ass don't get. Where are the white people? Where the white folk at to storm the Capitol? But you're not going to storm for this. It's sad. You people have your priorities screwed up. Trump didn't get elected, so we take over the Capitol. But in America, you're killing us. Didn't even want to give us stimulus checks. But you'll ship it off to Ukraine, while our veterans who would go over there and fight for another country get nothing. We suffering here in America. And I don't give a damn how much aid they send to Ukraine. Them niggas ain't gonna win that damn war. This fake ass war. You're not gonna beat Russia. You have to be a fool to believe that, fam. How much more money and how many more weapons are you gonna keep sending to these damn Ukrainians? These niggas never stop begging. Winners don't beg. Winners don't beg. Ukraine's steady begging. You know why Ukraine continues to beg? Because these white folk in America and our government are just so full of themselves that they have to announce everything they do. Hey, we sending money to Ukraine. Hey, we sending military weapons to Ukraine. You don't think the Russians hear that? And at some point, they intercept the money and the weapons, blow it up, or just straight jack move it. Gaffle it up. Because you announce everything you do. It's your narcissistic ass. All this money come from our tax dollar. Me and you. Don't forget that. Support Ukraine. No, nigga, you pass the plate and take up money from other people who want to support Ukraine. Pay me my damn reparations. Oh, now you broke. Give my people they loot. I ain't got it. We pay the taxes in this country, and they don't do a damn thing for us, especially black people. Check this out.
This cool and all, support, but Joe, you don't hear us talk about these gas prices? You don't hear us talk about how high chicken is? You don't hear it?
So our government is now planning to send another $1 billion in military aid to Ukraine? And not only that, but they're planning to send an additional $225 million to Ukraine for things like safe drinking water, medical supplies, health care, food, and money to families. All the things that Americans are hurting for right now and we don't have, and you're sending $225 million to Ukraine for those purposes? Can we even call them the American government anymore? Seems more like the Ukrainian government that just happens to be situated in America, because Americans are hurting here. Our gas prices are off the chain. Our food prices are off the chain. We barely even have enough food anymore. And here we are supporting another country to our detriment and not doing anything at all for our citizens. Enough already.
This is a serious question to our mother government. Since y'all want to send Ukraine $1 billion for a war that ain't got shit to do with our asses, can y'all raise the minimum wage? Can a bitch get some food stamps? Matter of fact, can we get a little stimulus check? Because I feel like we up in the Great Depression right now with these damn gas prices. I'm not even sure I can afford to drive to work. You see, a bitch ain't got no eyelashes on because I got to put that little extra $5 for my lashes up in my damn tank. My baby's up here eating bologna sandwiches. Got to pull out the Vienna sausages and the ramen noodles and the Kool-Aid. Shit. You gonna put us up in this? Help a bitch out.
Yeah. It's sad. It's just freaking sad. The latest tranche brings the total U.S. security assistance committed to Ukraine by the Biden administration to $8.2 billion, and it's being paid for through $40 billion in economic and security aid for Ukraine approved by Congress back in May. But nothing for the vets. Nothing for the veterans. These same people who sit on TV and thank the veterans for their service are blocking vital care to the vets in an effort to score political points and appease the most extreme elements of their base. Now, they burnt this bill that would have helped veterans, and here's why. Democrats say the reason is over unrelated pending bills. Republicans blocked a bill on Wednesday that many saw as a bipartisan slam dunk. They all voted for it in June. Bill was aimed to expand certain benefits for veterans due to toxic exposure they experienced while deployed. And this shocked a lot of veterans and their supporters. Every veterans group was out campaigning for this. Jon Stewart, as I stipulated earlier, was involved with them. He called it a disgrace. And it's sad, man, how these people in this country do. Talking about go out. Well, you got to go out and vote. We'll do a show on voting on next week because I hear a lot of females talking about, well, you got to go vote. You can't sit it out. Chick, shut the hell up. Because if a nigga on the block told you he wasn't doing a damn thing for you, you wasn't doing a damn thing for him either. That applies to them people in Washington, too. Kamala Harris.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Say it. The PACT was a bill that would have expanded the Department of Veterans Affairs health care to presume veterans whose military service included exposure to burn pits, large trenches dug to burn and dispose of sewage, medical waste, and other trash, to be victims of exposure to toxic substances and fumes when they have symptoms of certain illnesses. The bill would have removed the burden of proof veterans currently need to show in order to receive assistance. Now I got to prove to yo dumbass that I got this from over there. Not working at McDonald's, not being a software engineer, not driving a transit bus, but I have to prove to you that I got this over there. Ain't none of that here. I didn't catch it on the block. Didn't catch it at my job. What do you think I got this rare cancer or this respiratory problem from? You know. But you'll send Ukraine's punk ass all the money while our veterans suffer. Both houses of Congress previously passed the bill, with the Senate voting the 84-14 in June in favor of. But the bill was forced into another vote after administrative issues were found in its text. This after changes was made, it was expected to breeze through Congress and be signed into law by Joe Biden's stupid ass. 25 Republicans flipped their vote and blocked the bill on last Wednesday. Still think America's the greatest country in the world? It amazes me how with your white privilege, you steadily get screwed over and still think this country is so freaking great. You white folk just be the last to get hit on anything. And stuff you should be out here marching and storming the Capitol for, you sit at home, twiddling your damn fingers. Told you about Jon Stewart being out there. Jon Stewart was livid about what was going on. Livid. Pissed. All kind of profanity. That's how upset the man was. He works with a lot of these veterans groups, Jon Stewart does. They gathered at the Capitol hoping for a celebration following the bill's passing. Instead, was met with frustration. Hooked up with old Nancy Pelosi, who's supposed to be going to Taiwan. Aren't these people too damn old? You in your 80s and you still in here. You know how out of touch you are with things and you're in your 80s? You probably don't even know how to do self-checkout at Walmart. But here you are making laws and running the country, and you're out of touch. This isn't the 1950s. This isn't the 40s or the 60s when your ass was coming along. You should be at home in a rocking chair somewhere. Not making decisions for the next generation coming along. You probably don't even know how to open up an attachment in your email. But here your ass is out here making decisions. Jon Stewart said they don't have to see it. They don't have to hear it. They don't have to understand that these are human beings. Do you get it yet? The greatest country in the world. To hell with America, fam. From a black perspective, make America great again. When was it great for my people? $55-42 with 3 people abstaining. Republicans talking about the reason they flipped has nothing to do with the bill's focus, but rather how the funds would be allocated and managed. Are you asking Ukraine what the hell they're doing with the money you're sending them? Do they have to give you an itemized report on what they're doing with the $40 billion? No. Then why are you doing it to the veterans? You know, the people who did fight under the very blanket of security that you slept under. Congress passed over $6 trillion in wartime spending, but is playing politics with providing health care for the veterans who were exposed to Agent Orange in Vietnam, to the burn pits in Afghanistan and Iran. Use the soldier, forget the vet. That's what it seems like to me. Stabbing these folk in the back. Would you send your kid to the military right now? Their numbers are low. Told you that. These people filibustered this act, which would have benefited 1 in 5 veterans, giving them expanded health care. This also extended benefits to veterans who served in Vietnam War, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Guam. For those more recently in Iraq and Afghanistan, a presumption of service connection would be established for 23 different respiratory illnesses and cancers related to toxins from those pits that were burning over there. You don't know what these people have. You have no idea what these people have. You got great health care, you and your family. Health care off the chain for the regular American around here. Every other country has free health care because the right to health care is a human right. You want to talk about socialism? Socialism? Yet Elon Musk taking damn rockets to outer space. Pay your damn taxes. You got money to burn to go to outer space, but you need a tax break. Pay your fair share, Musk. Virgin Records, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and you white folks still don't get it. These people have all kinds of illnesses, physical and mental. These people were subject to all kinds of toxins, that they inhaled. And it's taking a toll on these people's lives. Who do you think has to look out for these people when they come home? If you're married, it's your wife. You're in your 20s, your 30s. You people just don't care. White people. You run the country, right? Well, it ain't just all white. It's some black folks. Shut up. You know and I know this place is ran by the white folks who just as stupid, mediocre, and cowardly. The timeline for the Gulf War medical claims was to be expanded under the legislation. 60 votes is what was needed to override the Republican filibuster. Now, they say all the Democrats supported the bill and 8 Republicans voted yes. And now the Republicans are quiet as for their reason for their shift in support. Now you quiet. Now you going on recess. Recess? As people are dying? Oh, but Ukraine needs some money. You can come back in now and vote for that. But for the veterans defending your country from being bombed, from being invaded, you don't got no time for that, right? White folks. The result surprised and disappointed many veteran advocates. Given just a month earlier, the measure passed the Senate 84-14 with bipartisan support, and only a few minor changes were made to the bill in the House, which then required another vote in the Senate before sending it on to Biden's stupid ass. Did you forget we have an all-volunteer military here in America? Check this guy out.
Make no mistake about this. The American people are sick and tired of the games that go on in this body. They're sick and tired of us working for Democrats or working for Republicans and not working for the American people. But this is bigger than that. We have an all-volunteer military in this country. If you don't think young people are watching what we're doing today, that are thinking about signing up for the military, you're sadly mistaken. And when we don't take care of our veterans when they come home, they're going to say, why should I ever sign the dotted line? Because the promises that I made and the promises the country made, only half that deal's being respected. My half. This is a sad day in the United States Senate. This is the biggest issue facing our veterans today. Make no mistake about it. If it wasn't, every veteran service organization wouldn't be out there talking to us and have been talking to me for the last 15 years. So we can make up all sorts of excuses about how this is going to move money around, but let me tell you something. We're the ones that decide that. If we want to move money around, we will. If we don't, we won't. In the meantime, let's pass this bill. Let's get veterans the health care they've earned. If it isn't, it's political malpractice. What we're doing today with this policy, by putting this policy off, does nobody any good whatsoever.
Yeah. Voluntary. Ain't nobody trying to go. You ain't sending your kinfolk. These people have given their lives. I've given mine. Again, if you didn't see action, you were prepared to see action. If and when it came. Did you go? Did you pull guard duty? Did you sit in a tank for 30 days, sleep in that tank, trespassing around in the mud, sleeping in a pup tent, eating cold food? Missing out on holidays and family events. Was that you or was that someone else? A veteran. White folks. Now, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, his bitch ass, I can't stand Mitch McConnell, said he does not support the budgetary gimmick, but does support the bill. Double talk. Now, here are a list of a few of the Republicans who voted against the bill, in case you'd like to know. That perhaps live in your state. John Barrasso from Wyoming. Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. Roy Blunt, Missouri. Mike Braun of my great state of Indiana. Richard Burr of North Carolina. Bill Cassidy of Louisiana. Stupid ass John Cornyn and Ted Cruz out of Texas. I didn't expect nothing less from Ted Cruz. And watch you slaves go vote these people back in. Tom Cotton of Arkansas, Kevin Kramer of North Dakota, Mike Crapo of Idaho, Steve Daines of Montana, Joni Ernst of Iowa, Dale Fisher of Nebraska, Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, just to name a few. Now, they say as written, the legislation would not just help American veterans as designed, it would also allow Democrats to effectively spend the same money twice and enable hundreds of billions in new unrelated spending on the discretionary side of the budget. And you people are going to vote these same people back in. See, in America, you don't vote on their platform. You vote on their racist views. The more racist they are, the more likely they are to get your vote. We're going to cover you niggas voting next week because I'm sick of you females. Sick of you. Here's some people told you they ain't going to do a damn thing for you. Oh, you got to vote. They done trotted Michelle Obama's ass out. Most men don't think that way. Nigga, ain't nothing in it for me. Ain't nothing in it for you either. Neglect me and mine, I neglect you and yours. And it's just sad. And you people don't care. You just don't care. The GOP, the grand old party. And the people who put their lives on the line. Evidently, you people don't care. Then y'all the main ones always talking about our military. Oh, Heath Robinson put his life on the line. Died. Man was a soldier. He put in the work. Sacrificed his life. Sacrificed his family. And he dies because you gave him no help. But, oh, you want to tell his kid to come on and join. Come on and serve your country. Why don't you ever send your kids? Send Hunter Biden's crack smoking ass over there to fight and to defend. The toxins these people have to inhale. See, you don't understand what goes on over there. Then when these people come back, I just don't understand why he's like that. I'm sure you don't. I'm sure the person standing next to you never had his brains blew out or riding in a Jeep and hit an IAD, a bomb that explodes and kills you all. 3.5 million soldiers have been exposed to these toxins since September 11th. I just don't understand it. I really don't. That you talk a good game about defending this country. And then once they went and done their part for you, you just don't give a damn. You people voted in June to give these men and women these benefits. And then turn around and gave them your ass to kiss. But for Ukraine, these racist bastards, you can roll out the red carpet. You block the veil to help veterans affected by these toxic burn pits, man. You just don't care. You just don't care. And America has been this way in the black community since we've been here. Again, we don't know what it means to make America great again. It's never been great for us. Just never has. People are still out campaigning and marching. Would you support a GoFundMe page to pay for benefits for veterans? I don't know. You're not supporting these people. I noticed the white boys who run around with the AR-15s and the rifles and whatnot in Starbucks. How come they don't go out there? Man the post. You're in Walmart and shit with a rifle. What's jumping off in Walmart? I don't know. The question remains why more than 24 Republicans, many veterans themselves, voted for it last month but flipped this last week. They say it was blocked for a political benefit is what the Democrats are saying. And you just screwed these people over. You had the opportunity to show that you gave a damn. Thank you for your service. That don't mean shit anymore. You might as well quit saying that. Because if it meant something, you would have stormed the Capitol. The veterans. See, black folk can't go down there and storm the Capitol because they try to mow us down right out there on the grass. I remember the black lady who made a U-turn with her baby in the back of the car by the White House, and they shot her up. But another nigga got his car all the way up in the grass, white boy. Another white boy made it to the door. She made a U-turn and was gunned down. Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut argues that Republicans took their anger out over a separate bill on the PACT Act. Democrats are attempting to pass the Inflation Reduction Act, which includes a historic $369 billion to be spent over the next 10 years to address climate change, health care, inflation, and taxes. I think that can wait while someone's dying today. Why these Republicans flip? Why they change their mind? They're quiet about it. Quiet about it. Check this out.
As if the U.S. government couldn't do any more damage to this damn country. These literally voted to block the PACT Act. So you mean to tell me a group of y'all decided that y'all wanted to say fuck you to the U.S. military? I mean, as if y'all want to fuck over the people that actually fight for this country, who has lost limbs, who has lost their minds because they suffer from extreme PTSD. They have lost family members, lost their own lives, and spent days, weeks, months away from their families. But y'all blocked care for them? So I got a question, government, a question that a lot of y'all ain't even thinking about. Have y'all heard about free will? That's strong in the shit. You want to know why? Because y'all heard about what happened with the North Carolina police station just up and just leaving, right? I don't know the reason why they left. But here's my question. What if the military decides, fuck my contract, I'm going to protest until they get this shit right? And let's say something in between there, God forbid, knock on wood, that something was to happen that we need the military. But the military said no. Because you bitches decided y'all wanted to block care for them. You know what? For you that work in the American government, for y'all to be so smart, y'all bitches are stupid. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Y'all fuck over the main people that defend this country. Listen to what I just said. Y'all literally just said, fuck you to the people that defends this country. So let's say, God forbid, like I said before, something happens and they decide they don't want to fight no more. What the fuck y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna do a draft? Because that information is out, baby. Try to draft if you want to. Everybody gonna refuse the shit. Then you gonna have a even bigger issue. So with that being said, American government, if you don't like your mother people, just say that shit. Stop lying to us.
Cancers and other issues alleged to be related to burn pits can come years later, as it happened to Sergeant Heath Robinson, whom this bill is named after, by the way. He died again in 2020 of a rare lung cancer he attributed to smoke exposure during his deployment in Iraq in 06 and 07. Just stupid. A lot of people in armed services assume they wouldn't be put in these harmful situations. But once you get deployed, you don't know what these people are going to have you doing. See, you don't really have a job description in the military. It's whatever the hell they want you to do. That's your job. Peeling potatoes, humping damn weapons. When I was over in Germany, we had to guard the airplanes of the Air Force while these niggas sat in the bar that we could see through the window drinking beer. You have no job description. These people didn't know they were going to be put in that situation. Now, Heath Robinson's wife, Danielle, an advocate for burn pit exposure victims who have been denied benefits, attended Biden's State of the Union address earlier this year, where he laid out his support for enhancing veterans' benefits as a part of his so-called bipartisan unity agenda, which, among other things, focuses on the commitment to veterans by delivering on promises made regarding health care, mental health, and homelessness. Why are so many veterans homeless? Why don't we have apartment buildings dedicated to just veterans? We have the VA for medical. We appreciate the doctors and nurses and staff at the VA, but they just practicing. Them people go to the VA, they learn their craft, and then they move on. It's sad, but it is what it is. Veterans' rights, man. And you just don't want to give these people what's due to them. This one guy, Leroy Torres, had to sue the state of Texas because he lost his job due to an injury he received while serving. They don't care. And you people, white people, are the main ones always talking about how great it is to be a service member before football games. You always got the veterans out there, this, that, and the third. You show a good game, but when it's time to go in pocket, it's been nothing but anger and indignation since they made this announcement. These people were blindsided. It's just stupid, man. I'm glad Jon Stewart got out there and spoke about it. A lot of these veterans are going to be fighting these issues for years to come. Years to come. And you have generations of people. Imagine the age of the guys from the Vietnam War. They're well into their 70s now. Again, you got money for war, but you don't have money for when these veterans come home. That's why they're homeless. A lot of them, again, PTSD and mental issues. Not necessarily physical. Don't get it twisted. You don't know what these men and women have seen over there. I recall when I was stationed over in Germany in the 4th of the 69th Armored Battalion, there was this sergeant, Sergeant Galloway, big brother, had been in Nam. He had narcolepsy, which means that when you were standing there talking to Sarge, he would nod out. When you first saw it, you didn't understand it. You was a new boot. But the old heads explained to you, this is what happened to Sarge, man, and that's why he liked that. And then he would wake up and be right back into the conversation, pick up where he left off. Now, what happened to him was they were in 3 Jeeps, he said, in Vietnam. And they were rolling down this road. All 3 Jeeps ran over landmines. Sarge and them survived because their Jeep didn't have a top on it. The other 2 did, and 8 people died, 4 in each Jeep. But the people in Sergeant Galloway's Jeep survived because they were blown out of the Jeep. This is a betrayal at the highest level, from the president down. You think Biden understands what's going on? 79 years old, dementia. They try to hide it. How come Biden doesn't travel the world like other presidents do? Rarely. Because you ain't trying to put this fool out in front of nobody. We're a laughing stock here in America. Everybody knows Biden got dementia, and we want to act like it doesn't exist. Sign the bill, Sleepy Joe. Jim Crow Joe. It's like revenge you taking out on these veterans, man. But you love them so very much. And you just punishing the veterans for what? Political gain? Because you trying to prove a damn point? No one cares about your point. These are human lives. You already don't want to give people medical in this country. And now you had the opportunity to sit here and to give these people what they needed. You talking about climate control and all the crap we don't need. These people are dying. And you just don't care. And then wonder why your numbers are down in recruitment. Veterans supposed to stage a sit-in to get these people at the U.S. Capitol to do what they're supposed to do. Don't know how much that's going to work. How many of you are going to show up to help out? Who's going to show up to help? This thing here was to boost healthcare services and disability benefits for the veterans exposed to the toxic burn pits. It was supposed to increase Veterans Affairs spending by more than $300 billion over the next decade and increase disability benefits for veterans who develop cancer and respiratory conditions. And yo ass voted no. Wow. You people are sick, man. You people are sick. There are some countries where you have to give a year or two in the military before you can go on to college and whatnot. Again, like I said in the soundbite, even if you had a draft, the Vietnam soldiers taught you how to avoid the draft. Donald Trump showed your ass how to avoid the draft. It's just stupid how you people in this country, white folks, I'll say it like it is, who are the mass shooters, white people. And it's sad how you people just sit here and play games with other people's lives. But you don't want to send your kid over there. You don't want to send your kid. Everything is high. Food, rent, everything. And you don't want to do a damn thing for the people who give you the opportunity to say that this is the greatest country in the world, which it ain't. Which it ain't. You know it and we know it. And you just don't care. How many veterans are there, do you think, in the world? Because a lot of people, again, just don't understand the risk that you as veterans are exposed to. Beyond the bullets and mortars, these risks extend well beyond the battlefield. Again, 3.5 million veterans were exposed to toxic burn pits while serving in the military after September 11th. And again, these people just take their garbage and just burn it. They don't give a damn what's in it. Radiation, they don't care. They just burn it all. And you people have just put these people's lives in jeopardy. And all it had to do was be approved, and it would have went to Biden's desk. But you can trot it out for Ukraine, huh? You can trot it out for Ukraine. That's all I got. I just wanted to come here and try to do something for the veterans, for my people. You know, I understand we're trying to get our reparations, this, that, and the third. But you also have to understand that being a veteran is like being in a fraternity or a sorority. You know? I ran up on a Hispanic guy head on a Army hat one day and was talking to him. He's like, oh, no, I didn't serve. I just saw the hat and thought it was cool. Then you disrespect him. Men have died. I recall we went over Jackie's son's house back 4th of July of last year, 2021. And his buddy out here going on and on and on about how he was in the military, how he has served, this, that, and the third. I'm engaging him, talking to him. And his homeboy come on, man, that nigga lying. He wasn't in the military. And at that point, I didn't talk to that nigga for the rest of the evening. It's disrespectful. It's like me coming out there in an Alpha Kappa Psi jacket or gear on. Q-Dog gear. Perpetrating. Because people think it's a joke. Oh, yeah, I serve. You got a lot of people who come out and do that and don't understand the people that have died wearing the uniform. And then here you come. It's a disgrace. And you a low-down bastard for participating in such a thing. Now, if you are a veteran, you can go to usmilitary.org to get information on various things that you perhaps need. Please stay up on what's going on with this bill if you could do anything to help. Now, you know, little side note, to show you white folk really don't give a damn about the military. When the brothers was coming back from World War II, they were hanging them in their uniforms. Now, your cowardly punk ass was here in the States. This black man went and fought for you, and all you saw was his skin color. I'm talking your granddad, your great-grand. These men didn't get their VA benefits for years before they were finally awarded to the black guys. Meanwhile, the white boys came home, got houses, went to school, got loans for businesses. This is where redlining comes from, where you force these black soldiers to live in the bad neighborhoods. There's a story told that over in France, America found out that they were letting these black soldiers hang out at this restaurant, this bar. And the general or somebody went to the owners like, hey, you can't let them hang out here. They're black. The French dude said, we don't play that shit here. We don't care what color they are. They're soldiers. They're human beings. They can come here much as they want to. How about you don't come here? And the white boy stood there and couldn't say anything. What you gonna say? Everyone's not as stupid as you. Everyone's not as stupid as you are. Veterans are going to die. They're dying now. And you white folk don't give a damn. Y'all speak a good game. You speak a good game. Again, it's like a woman got raped and you tell her to get over it because you didn't get raped. Hate to use that analogy, but I want it to have some impact. It's always okay as long as it didn't happen to you. You don't have cancer. Rare form of cancer. You don't have respiratory problems. You just go about your day. Your kids don't have it. Your spouse don't have it. Your parents don't have it. You don't care about that guy. He's in your way. He needs to shut up and get over it, huh? You white people have your values and morals twisted. That's what's wrong with this country. That's why it's on the way down. Joe Biden is the best you white people got to offer. Sleepy Joe Biden is the best you got. Kamala ain't no better. But Sleepy Joe is the best you got. That shows right there. the reason your numbers are falling. The reason the white population is dropping. Nature takes care of getting rid of the old, the wounded, and the stupid. Today, you have to put on the label for these niggas not to eat the Tide Pods, the little detergent packs. Stupid should hurt. You know what I'm saying? If you ran down the street, got hit by a car, I bet your ass learned today. If you fell off your bike, skinned your knee, I bet you learned today. If you touched that iron and that mug was hot, I bet your ass learned today. Stupid should hurt. And it's going to hurt you now. You better pray Russia don't invade this country or start a war. You better pray China doesn't invade this country or start a war, or North Korea. Because you have nobody. No one's coming to save you. Because they look at what you do when they do come. They look at how you treat these people who have went out here and manned the post. Then what are they going to do to me? What are they going to do to me? Why would I join? Why would I be a part of the stupidity? Long as it didn't happen to you and yours. And I'm just sad to see this bill get struck down. That's why I decided to do this program. You don't know what these people were inhaling. And all you had to do was pass a bill. $280 billion. While you spend shit on Ukraine's ass. Niggas who ain't done nothing for us, ain't been doing nothing for us, and have nothing to offer. You act like Ukraine giving y'all reach arounds. You people are stupid and incompetent. There should be term limits with these people in Congress and the Senate and whatnot. Once you hit a certain age, 70 maybe, sit your ass down somewhere. Because you're out of touch. You have no idea what the hell is going on. And you people need to go. Again, on next week, we talking about voting. That show is for you niggas and you slaves. The ones sitting here, well, you still got to show up. Shut up. If the city came through and said that they were going to write you a fine and a ticket because your grass had got too long, you wouldn't ask your neighbor if you could use their lawnmower and they told you no. What happens 6, 8, 12, 18 months later when their grass gets too long and their lawnmower is broken and they come knocking on your door? Hey, man, can I use your lawnmower? You going to give it to them? Or you going to tell their ass to kick rocks? Same thing for these people. At some point, black folk got to stand up and sacrifice. Don't vote. We'll get into all that on next week, man. But I feel for my veterans, praying for my veterans, and just hope it all works out. You know, I don't have those issues. Someone was telling me, well, Shaq, how come you don't get this or that and third from the VA? Because I don't need it. Well, it's yours. You earned it. Yeah, and if I need it, I'm going to go get it. But if I don't need it, I'm leaving it for a veteran who does need it, man. I'm not taking it just because it's there. I go take it because I need it. But if I don't need it, why would I be selfish and take it when another veteran needs it way more than I? Thank you for hanging out with the Bangin'est podcast on your urban internet radio dial. Don't forget to like, support, hit the notification bell, all the things I never tell you to do. Greatly appreciate those of you who hang out and listen to the podcast every week. Down in the comments, let us know what you think about the Veterans PACT Act. What do you think should be done? What do you think should be done with the people in there who voted it down? Think it's time for them to go? I certainly do. What would you have done had you hit the Mega Millions, baby? Want to know that? So hit us up and let us know. Never average, never mediocre. Online, on point, and on the freaking money. Pray until something happens. God always provides. At pushgapradios.com, the power is in the name. Thank you guys again for checking us out, for rolling with us, and for making a part of our world a part of your world. Salute to my veterans out there, one and all. And for those of you who plan like you was a veteran, sit your ass down somewhere. It's not a joke. People have died wearing that uniform. We're pushgapradios.com. See you next week. And we're out. Dallas, baby.
Pray until something happens. God always provides. At pushgapradios.com, the power is in the name.
Never average, never mediocre. We're online, on point, and on the money. Shackle Ford won in the main event only on pushgapradios.com.
Pushgapradios.com, bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. Pushgapradios.com. It's Dallas, baby.